All right, Sergeant Garrett, so you're joining us today because there was a memorial to honor fallen peace officers. And originally it was going to be public, but it switched to private because of the weather today. Here in the Springs, it's cold, it's rainy, it's cloudy. So I just want to ask how the private event went.
Yeah, so it went well. Both, in particular, Colorado Springs Police Department, as well as El Paso County Sheriff's Office and other regional partners, were able to, outside of a formal public ceremony, pay our own individual respects as agencies to our fallen today. The Pikes Peak Region Law Enforcement Memorial is contained at Memorial Park, just east of downtown Colorado Springs. And, for almost 3 decades, we have paused our activities on this day to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in serving our community. And it's just something that we feel very, very strong about doing each year, and just taking the time to honor and reflect on those sacrifices. And so, even though there was no big public ceremony today, it was a poignant time for us to do that, and it was appreciated by the families that were able to be there, and meant a lot to us.
What does this week mean to you personally and this ceremony as well?
Yeah. So I've been in law enforcement for the past 19 years, so much of my adult life. And, for anyone who has lived in El Paso County, the Colorado Springs metro region, for any period of time, knows that our area, our region, is unfortunately not a stranger to the tragic line of duty deaths of officers and deputies. It wasn't but a few years ago, back on February the 2nd of 2018, that one of our own, Detective Micah was shot and killed in the line of duty. And during COVID, one of our own, Deputy Jeff Hopkins, succumbed to COVID that he contracted working inside our jail. That was also considered a line of duty death. And so I knew both of those men, and just the opportunity each year to remember the sacrifice that they made for our greater good is very important to me. The Colorado Springs Police Department has tragically lost several officers over the past probably about 15 years. The University of Colorado Springs Police Department lost Officer Garrett during the Planned Parenthood active shooter event many years ago. And so just having been working in law enforcement myself the past 19 years, I have had unfortunately a front row seat, like so many cops in this region have, to those losses, to those sacrifices. And so it is very important for us to remember the sacrifice that they made for our collective good.
You mentioned working with Detective Micah as well as Deputy Jeffrey Hopkins. Is there anything you'd like to say about how they personally impacted the El Paso County Sheriff's Office?
Yeah, so both of them were tenured deputies with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Micah was a person that I worked with for several years in the jail. Like almost every deputy with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, almost all of us start working out in the largest county jail in the state. And so with both Jeff and with Micah, I had an opportunity to work with them in the jail, and get to know them, get to know their character, get to know the type of people they were. Micah left a lasting impression, not only on me, but on so many people, both inside and outside the agency. Just a tremendous human being, and the manner in which he died in the line of duty was, in a literal sense, protecting others. With Jeff, Jeff is a guy that probably more than likely saved my life many years ago when we were both working in the jail together as well. When an inmate tried to stab me, Jeff also put himself in harm's way to prevent that situation from going a very bad way. And so for me personally, just having the personal knowledge I have of them, knowing the character that they have, and being able to testify to that to anyone who will listen. It's very important to me to do that, and to take this opportunity that you're giving me to do that, and just to let the public know that on a day like today, where we pause to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, it's not just the sacrifice that stands out, but it's the type of people they were as well that need to be celebrated.
That was really beautifully said. I was going to ask what your message to the public was, because a lot of people don't know these people personally, so they may not be affected as deeply as you. And I know you touched a little bit on your last answer, but I don't know if maybe you wanted to add a little bit more to that.
Yeah. So, this has been a challenging time for law enforcement in particular over the past couple of years for obvious reasons, right? And one thing that I would just want to relate to the public, it is a public that we serve. Our job is to serve the public. It is to serve the safety interest of our community, and the people that go out every day and put on the uniform and respond to horrible calls for service, and solve crime and arrest those suspected of crime to bring them to justice. It's not just a badge that's out there doing it. They are we are human beings with our own lives, with our own families, our own vested interests in this community. We have an immediate interest to work actively to make this community a safer place, not only for the people that we serve, but for those that we love as well. And the thing that I would leave with the public, especially on today, on a solemn day such as this, where we honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifices, is we're not any better than anyone else, but we do endeavor on a daily basis in ways that the public never sees to stand in that gap between order and chaos, to make this place that we all live and love as safe as anyone can possibly make it, day in and day out.
I have one final question. We are honoring these officers today, but we can have the opportunity to do that every day. So what can the public do to support our law enforcement agencies?
Well, I will tell you, that's a great question. There are areas of the country, I think, that we all see on TV and hear anecdotal stories about, where it doesn't seem as if the law enforcement and the public in some of those communities have a very good relationship. I will tell you, we in law enforcement in the Pikes Peak region, whether it's the El Paso County Sheriff's Office or CSPD or Fountain or Manitou or Monument or Calhan, Green Mountain Falls, whatever the agency is in the Pikes Peak region, I would say, and I think the people that I work with and around would also support me in saying, we have such a great relationship with the community that we serve. I can't go anywhere in uniform and pay for a meal. If I sit down at a restaurant or whatever while I'm on duty, the waiter or whoever it is will say, "Hey, your meal's already been paid for." I can't even pay for my own stuff when I go out. To me, that's a testament of the support, the tangible, real-time support that the citizens who live in the Pikes Peak region have for us every day. It is tangible. It is palpable. We feel it. We appreciate it immensely. We cannot tell you how much it means to us to go to work every day and to engage a fallen, broken world in some of the worst ways. To know that, especially in the Pikes Peak region, we already feel so tremendously taken care of and appreciated, and it means a lot.
Sergeant Garrett, I really appreciate your time to, just provide another side to this day that means so much, and especially thank you for your service.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for taking the opportunity to chat with me a little bit. Really appreciate that.
Of course, anytime. I hope you have a good rest of your day.